So I want to geek out just for a second on the name of God, Exodus 3:13, where Moses says, okay, Lord, you want me to go to the Israelites, and what am I going to tell them is your name? And then there's this really strange verse in the English King James Bible in Exodus 3:14, where he says, well, go and tell them that my name is I am that I am. And I remember as a young man reading that going, I don't even know, what in the heck is that even saying? And as I've grown and gotten into, some books and been a little bit nerdy. So this is a really good book by Frank Moore Cross. And he says this, he's a Bible scholar. He's trying to figure out what is this. And he says, the accumulated evidence strongly supports the view that the name Yahweh, Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh, Yahweh, is a causative imperfect of the Canaanite Proto-Hebrew verb hweh, which is to be. Therefore, the divine name Yahweh, according to this view, literally means he who causes to be, or even he who creates. Now, that's what he's saying in this. There's a lot more to unpack here, but what he's saying is I am that I am, Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh, is where he believes that is where Yahweh comes from. That phrase in Exodus 3:14 is not Yahweh. That phrase, it's complicated, but it means perhaps I am that I am, or I will be who I will be, or I will cause what I will cause to be. The Bible scholar Christine Hayes says, we really don't know what it is, but it has something to do with being. So then Moses says, well, what are you? And God says, I am who I am, or I will cause to be what I will cause to be. And so Moses, wisely enough, she says, converts that into a third person formula. Okay, he will be who he will be. He is who he is. Yahweh Asher Yahweh. God's answer to the question of his name is this sentence, and Moses converts it from a first person to a third person sentence. He will be who he will be. He is who he is, or he will cause to be. And she goes on, and I'll put this in the show notes. But my point is, and this is where I think the Book of Mormon does this beautifully, it's such a complex concept of the name of God, and he has lots of names, but the concept of his name is packaged throughout Nephi's narrative. Everything Nephi is just screaming from his pores, let me show you who God is. He puts you in this realm of opposition, and even the hero has to get tied up on a boat. In other words, none of us are going to make it through without pain. And throughout the whole thing, Nephi's trying to say, do you want to be happy? You need to be someone who causes to be. Don't react through your whole life. Go out and just, I say this to my boys all the time, you take the bull by the horns and you tell it where it's going. Anyway, I love this. Sorry, that's my geek out moment on this chapter. I really think this is about being happy, and we can't be victims. We can't just be playing, woe is me. We've got to act.